Hi everyone, Keith with Arkenberg Farms, and today I want to show you what happens when you forget to open up your greenhouse. So let me show you. Now, I actually didn't forget to open this, but I'm actually trying to cook off everything on the inside. So what I'm going to show you here is what happens to the temperatures throughout the day if you forget to open up your greenhouse. It's rather dramatic. It gets really hot in there, and that's actually the goal of why I've kept this closed, is because I'm basically trying to cook off everything in the tunnel, take care of the weeds on the outside, and have a fresh, clean greenhouse to start with. We also had a bunch of disease pressure, bottom rot down towards the bottom of the tunnel, so I really want to try to knock that out as well. Heard of a lot of people spreading out a bunch of grass clippings and things like a foot deep and biofumigating the soil. I believe this should do about the same. So we're going to go through the day, take the temperatures, and show you how this thing actually heats up through the day and what would happen if you had stuff in here. I can tell you right now, it would not be good. It is now 10 a.m. out here, and it is about 110 degrees inside of this greenhouse. Now it's right at 12 o'clock noon, lunchtime, and it now has gotten up to, looks like about 130. We went over our soil thermometer, so now we're with a meat thermometer, and right below 130 degrees out here inside of this greenhouse. So it's only 74 degrees out here. You gotta remember, it is noon. This is the time you typically get home from the farmer's market, and by now your closed greenhouse is up to 130 degrees. That is hot enough to kill anything inside of it. Now it's about 2 o'clock, 8 degrees out here. Surprising thing is the temperature's actually gone down a little bit. If you can't tell around me, trees are moving a little bit. We got a little bit of wind coming through. These things are fairly leaky, so I believe that's what's coming out of there. But here's what the temperature we're at, sitting right about 120 degrees again. So we'll come back here in about 3 hours and check again. But first, don't forget to head over to arkenbergfarms.com. Scroll down on the bottom, Market Garden Farm School and Digital Tools and Training. Bunch of cool stuff there. We got our side openers and door actuators, like would be right there, to actually prevent you from overheating your greenhouse, or also to automatically roll up the side curtains on your greenhouse. Perfect when you're not home, not around. Also, we've got the Market Garden Farm School. Still building on that, getting pretty cool. Bunch of spreadsheets, Jang rollers as well that we custom print here on the farm. So go check it out. It's now 5 o'clock. It's about 84, 85 degrees out here. We've actually gone down a little bit again. I think that's because the sun's starting to go at an angle. We're down to about 115 degrees. So it's been like this now for a good period of time. Now comes the fun part, heading into the tunnel. And it is rather toasty in here. Like I said, I'm trying to kill off everything in here, put the tarp down, and then close the whole greenhouse up. Grasses and stuff, still okay. I've only had this thing down for about 24 hours. Kind of see things are starting to look a little droopy. Same thing with the weeds as well. But underneath the tarp, oh yeah, look at that. That is well cooked. These were carrots. Those were weeds. These were mustard greens. It looks like the grass down here, it's actually still holding up rather well, but that's because they're still kind of insulated because the soil temperature is lower, the tarp's hotter. After a couple days of doing this, I should be able to get the heat actually down in the soil and solve the problem. Now, one thing I did do was water this really well before I close the tunnel. I want to basically create a steam bath underneath there to kill all the vegetation and hopefully cook the seeds off too. I'll be able to tell that in a couple days. I'm actually going to keep this thing closed for 2 weeks to really cook this thing off. So far, I think it's working really good. And like I said earlier, if you actually forget to open your greenhouse, it cooks it automatically for you. So that's another technique you could use, but also one you don't want to come home and find. I understand people at the farmer's market, you leave, it's cloudy, it's cool, all of a sudden the sun comes out and you're like, oh crap. And that's when bad things happen. Unless you got somebody at home that can come out and open it up quickly, get the sides vented, get the doors open, just get the heat relieved, you'll be fine. If not, by the time you come back, which I talked to a lot of new growers, especially ones that get NCRS greenhouses through grants. First year, cook everything off. Usually second year, repeat the same process because they don't realize how much heat these things actually generate when they're closed. Very important to note, very important to keep track of, and that's why we're so successful, is because we come out, monitor these things constantly, and we also have the door actuators, which open up the door just enough it releases the heat on a cool day, because even when it's like 30 degrees outside, this thing will turn about 80 or 90 degrees. Today we kind of maxed out at about 130, 135. I expected it to go a little higher, but the winds kicked up. Even though this thing's sealed, they're not sealed at the bottom. There's no baseboards. So just the air movement, I believe, actually cooled it a little bit. And it only got up to 85 degrees. That's the most important part. And our low last night was actually like middle 60s. First thing in the morning, it was about 110 degrees in here, and it was 70 degrees outside. So that just really shows you the power of the heat these produce and why it's so important to actually vent your greenhouses, keep them cool, keep them monitored, so you don't wind up with cooking off all of your beautiful produce in here. Most important thing, Farmer's Friend Caterpillar tunnel, 16 foot wide, about 100 foot long. This, at any time, planted out, has about $2,000 worth of produce in it when you sell it at market. So that's a big loss and a big hit, and can really cause some problems in the season. But that's about all for today. So as always, hope you all liked what you saw today. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all. Have a good day.